Good afternoon, co-class. I'm making a video for you guys. I'm going to go over the syllabus and also go through Canvas just to kind of point out some things that you might not be aware of. I will try to keep looking at the camera, but I'm trying to look at things on my computer screen, so you know how it goes. So let's talk about Canvas. First off, when you go into the Co17A Canvas shell, you will see the home page, which has the syllabus on it essentially. There's a link to the Zoom meeting for the class, which is going to have a password so that people can't get into it. There's also going to be a registration, which I'm going to set up so that I can collect your attendance more easily and report that to the university, which we keep track of. My email's on there. Then there's some notes about the co-class as far as what it's intended for. My plan is to have class meetings at the regular class time, which will be Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 10 to 10:50. And then after that, post some short videos doing further examples of the same kind of questions you guys had in class to kind of help you out. I will also do examples during the co-class if you want me to. We will see kind of how it works. What else? So the class is graded pass, not pass. It's going to require a 75% to get a passing grade. 70% of the class grade is going to be based on participation, which you can totally complete just by attending every class. There are other ways as well, which are spelled out in the grading module, which we'll get to in a minute. The other 30% of the class grade is going to be based on the weekly quizzes, and they're going to be purely based on your attempt, meaning if you try to do the quiz, you will get full credit. The whole point of the quiz is so that you can have something that gets looked at, which I will grade and give you feedback on, but not actually grade as far as like you only got 5 out of 10. No, you'll actually still get 10 out of 10 points. So the quizzes are really for your benefit, not to your detriment. What else? You can use the discussion tab in Canvas to talk to other students, and if you want me to see the discussions and maybe comment on them or help out, that's kind of what they're there for. What else? Some other notes about Math 17A. Each unit is connected to previous material. Yeah. Successful students are studying a lot. Sure. Get help. There's going to be drop-in tutoring appointments that are online, and there's a link to that. There's also a link to the AATC website. There's a link to Grant's website because he almost always has good content up there for the 17 series classes. There's a link to my website, which is trash. Like, there's nothing on there really. And then there's another link again to the drop-in tutoring appointments. And then below that, you'll see all of the various assignments, which we'll talk about in a minute. In the announcements section, you'll see there's an announcement with the Zoom meeting link. Again, if you don't see it on the first page, it's there. There's also an announcement about whose 17A class you're in. I would like you all to comment on that announcement, just who your teacher is, either Sanders or Pham, I believe. Yeah. In the assignment section, there's a lot of stuff. Basically, there's 3 things every week. There's the reflection, which is optional. That's basically where you can kind of sum up what's going on in the class. You can ask me math questions. You can write other things. That's to get a participation point for the week. Then there's the weekly count of your participation points, which I'm going to ask you all to fill out every week. And you can get it to 6 points each week. It's pretty straightforward. And then there's the weekly quiz, which I just talked about. And if you click on the quiz, there's a link to the quiz, and it's through Gradescope. You're going to have to, when you take the quiz, essentially do it on your own paper and then take a picture of it somehow and upload it to Gradescope. But I think that shouldn't be too terrible. But if it is, we can figure something out. Discussions, I mentioned already. I put a You Got Questions discussion on there, so if you want to ask questions, you can. I'm skipping grades. People you guys can't click on, unfortunately, but I will add you to whoever's class you're in. If you click on files, you can see all the files I've uploaded. There should only be 1 file so far, or sorry, 2 files. The co-class grading scheme, which we'll talk to when we get to the modules, and the biocalculus chapter 1. So I uploaded chapter 1 of your book. Fair usage licensing rules say that we can't upload more than 10% of the book at a time. So if you are in need of a physical copy of the book or an online copy of the book, here's an online copy for you, at least of chapter 1. the actual digital version of the book can be kind of challenging to navigate. So if you are using the digital version, I might recommend also downloading this PDF because it's a little easier to navigate through. Let's see, continue on. If you click on syllabus, it'll take you back to the home page. Clicking on quizzes, you will see there's a couple polls there. Those polls are also optional. They are part of the participation grade as well. And let's actually get to the participation grade. Let's go to modules. So if we look at the modules, there's 4 different modules. There's the co-class grading scheme, which I'm going to click on right now. I would share my screen with you, but I don't know if I actually can using the recorder I'm using, so I won't. If you look at the co-class grading scheme, you can see 70% of the class points are for participation, and it breaks down all the ways you can earn them. You can get 2 points for attending a class session, and there's 3 of those sessions, so you can get 6 points that way. You can only get a max of 6 points, so if you attend all 3 classes each week, you will get all the participation points, easy peasy. You can also get a point for starting a discussion thread, you can get a point for contributing to a discussion thread, you can get a point for studying with someone online, you can get a point for completing one of the reflections, which I just talked about, you can get a point for completing the poll, which I just talked about. So really I just want to make sure you're engaged with the class, so please do participate. Again, if you come to the weekly class, the 3 times a week class meetings, you'll be fine. What else? Oh, back to the modules. Oh, actually, sorry, back to the grading scheme. If you look further down on the second page of the grading scheme, there is the weekly participation log that you will fill out each week. So when you click on the participation log in assignments, you will see that there is a link to a Google assignment. It might not be available just yet, but when it is, you can click on the Google assignment and you can fill out the Google Doc showing me what points you got for the week. It shouldn't be too bad. I don't want to have to fill out everyone's points for every week, so I'm asking you to do it, and then I will enter them into Canvas at the end. Back to the modules. There is a module for videos on YouTube, which this will be the first one. You will need to use the link in Canvas to the videos on YouTube because they're going to be unlisted so that no one besides you guys in the whole wide world can watch them. I don't need everybody watching me. There's a module for useful handouts, which there's nothing in yet, and then the last module is the current textbook chapter, which again is chapter 1 of the book. I think that's about it. I don't see anything else near. Oh, I might keep track of your attendance. No, I think I'm going to keep track of your attendance, hopefully via Zoom, because I'm going to make you guys enter your student ID before joining the Zoom meeting, and then that'll let me run a report that tells me who all has attended. So even though I'm doing that, I still want you to fill out the weekly point thing that I can't remember the name of now. The weekly, what's it called? The weekly participation points. So yeah, I think that's about it. I feel like I had 1 or 2 other things I wanted to say. Let's see. I know what it was. There it was. I want to let you guys know that when we are doing the Zoom meeting for the 3 times a week class, you can pin my video to the top or to be big or whatever so that you can see what I'm writing on the board. Because if the video is small, I've noticed it's kind of hard to see what's written on the board. I will try to write as legibly as possible, but, well, I'll try my best. And I think that is all. Oh, I just want to remind you all as well, social distancing is important. Please try to do your best. I also want to remind you, just as an option, not that I don't think anyone should be here. I'm happy to have you all in my class, but if anyone was considering PELPing, meaning taking spring quarter off, that is still an option up through the 10th day of class. If you do it by the first day, you get 100% of your fees back. If you do it by the 2nd through something day, you get like 90%, and then like the 7th through 10th day, you get like 50%. So if that's something you're thinking about, it's still an option. But again, happy to have you all in my class and looking forward to getting through 17A this quarter. Yeah, all right, that's all. Take care, and feel free to send me an email and ask me a question or whatever. Talk to you guys later. Bye.